top 5 ghost photos, and they supposedly got checked by photo experts before digital editing even existed, which is exactly the kind of setup that makes me suspicious, because old photos have a way of looking creepy all by themselves. Like, give me a grainy black and white image in a shadow, and suddenly everybody's grandma is a demon. So I'm already waiting for either a legit jaw dropper or a very polite piece of dust. Okay, hold on. This one is doing a lot. The shape is so dark and tall that I get why people went straight to ghost, but my brain immediately goes, why does it look like fabric or like something leaning? If you told me this was a church photo with weird lighting and a person half out of frame, I'd believe you instantly. And that's the problem with these famous spooky pictures. Once your mind locks onto a figure, it starts building the whole story around it. I'm not saying it's nothing, I'm just saying I need to see the original conditions before I hand this thing its own haunting theme song. This one is sneaky because it's tucked behind somebody praying, so it already feels like it's hiding on purpose. But again, I'm staring at the contrast and the edges, and it has that classic old photo problem where a fold, a blur, or a reflection can suddenly become a person with a story. And once people start calling it the White Lady, that name does half the haunting for you. Like, now I'm supposed to believe there's a full ghost back there, but I also know how easy it is to turn a random shape into a face when you really want a mystery. The church setting makes it extra dramatic though, I'll give it that. Oh no, this is the exact kind of image that makes your brain start pattern matching against its will. Because now it's not even a full spooky figure, it's just a pale little shape peeking around the corner, which somehow makes it worse. But I also hate how easy it is for a fan photo like this to produce a face out of nothing. Light, shadow, a wall edge, maybe a smudge, and suddenly everybody's convinced there's a child-sized apparition checking on the camera. That's the part I always get stuck on. Is it actually there, or is the photo just barely suggestive enough to freak everyone out? And honestly, those are two very different things. Come on, a face in a broken truck window is exactly the kind of thing that makes me go, yeah, no. Because broken glass, reflections, and random shapes are doing way too much heavy lifting here. The minute you frame it as a face, people stop looking at the whole window and start seeing eyes, nose, mouth. Our brains are absolute snitches for that stuff. If this one was passed around as proof of a haunting, I can already hear the argument starting, but it looks like a person. Sure, it also looks like 50 other things if you stare at it long enough. All right, now we've got the pink lady, and the digital filter analysis part already tells me this is about to get messy, because once you start enhancing old images, you're not just revealing details, you can also create weird artifacts that look way more intentional than they really are. And that's how a blob becomes a face, and a face becomes a legend. I do like that they're at least trying to analyse it instead of just screaming ghost and moving on, but that doesn't automatically make the result trustworthy. If anything, old image enhancement can make things feel more asterisk haunted just because the processing introduces all those extra edges and weird textures. So yeah, this is exactly where my skepticism starts fighting the spooky vibe.